everyone, Lauren Culp here, publisher and CEO at CUInsight.com, and I am bringing you a 3 questions video interview today featuring a very special guest. I am excited to have joining me Har Rai Khalsa from Alkami. He's the VP of Product Management, and we're going to be talking about digital account opening. Har Rai, thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you for having me, Lauren. It's an honor to be on today's show.
Well, let's dive right in. I want to hear from you. You're the experts in digital account opening. What are the top trends that you're really observing from credit unions with digital account opening?
Yeah, Lauren, I mean, when we look at the macro space, we're seeing the liquidity crisis eating into credit unions across the country. Ultimately, folks are struggling to find higher interest-bearing assets, but they need those deposits as the foundation to extend out those higher interest loans. So what we've seen, especially recently with the debt ceiling increase, is fears that liquidity is going to stream from the credit union balance sheet into these treasury bonds, all told, putting even more pressure on the liquidity of the balance sheet. That's leading to people really racing into digital account opening solutions to compete with the mega banks, the neobanks. So that's really where we're seeing the state of the union.
What are the big challenges then that you think credit unions face? We've always heard, maybe credit unions are a little bit behind what some of the mega banks are doing in terms of technology, but I'm curious, what do you see as those really big challenges for credit unions with digital account opening?
I think the challenges will persist decades into the future. We'll just look at them from different lenses. But honestly, Lauren, we break it down into 2 main buckets, the member experience and then the back office staff experience. So there's always a balance between optimizing for that end consumer, their journey, reducing friction. We're seeing more and more credit unions being aggressive and trying to do non-documentary means of identification, simply because we're seeing 40 to 50% of consumers drop off when prompted to upload driver's license. So if you've built your member identification program around that means of CIP or customer identification, then you're losing 1 in 2 applicants as soon as you prompt for that driver's license. From there, Lauren, it comes down to funding. Are you offering flexible methods? Are you offering external account links through Yodlee or Plaid? What are you doing for card funding? And then when we come into the back office, ultimately, we're seeing folks that are looking for higher decisioning rates. They're looking for alternative data, whether it's from telecommunications providers, soft pull down to the credit profile. They're really looking for different data sets. For example, how long has this member been using this SIM card with this telecommunications provider? And that being a sign of loyalty and legitimacy in the market.
I remember back, it was, I think 6 years ago now, I was opening a new account at a different credit union. I had moved and they needed me to come into the branch to complete the process. I started it online and it still sticks with me because I've opened so many accounts and never needed to do that. And so I'm curious, from your perspective, what would you say are maybe the best practices that credit unions can follow when they're opening new accounts digitally? And where do you see the industry heading overall?
Very good question. Ultimately, we've built the thesis of our onboarding experience around non-documentary identification. So really using back office databases to decision on as minimal amount of data as possible. Even before the application experience, we've been putting a lot of emphasis on the shopping experience to really help the consumer browse for the right product. We believe that interest and consideration stage of the sales funnel is where you really build commitment to the application, increasing your conversion percentage. But ultimately, getting that consumer a quick response as fast as possible, if not instant. And then ultimately, to your point, whether the application is completed online or not, they should at least be able to call in to finish any application procedures. So we're seeing folks accepting more regularly electronic signature records in lieu of wet signatures, and really making that funding option available post-application if they did abandon the application before funding, so they don't have to come into the branch or mail a check. And Lauren, just as we look towards the future, where we see the industry and the market going, ultimately, the products are built to support the credit union balance sheet. So we need the deposits to give the loans. We're hearing more and more pressure in the marketplace to replace the incumbent legacy vendors There's only a couple in the space monopolizing. So folks who are entering into account opening are facing increased pressure to also support loan origination as well. So really that end-to-end platform on both sides of the balance sheet. And then competing with the mega banks and the neobanks, and then the major tech companies, Google, Apple, in the payments marketplace. So I've opened up my new account. How quickly can I transact with my debit card? Can I use it from a mobile wallet, for example?
It's so interesting. And I think a lot of it boils down to ease of use is what consumers want. And digital account opening is one huge way to do that as you're looking to attract deposits to the credit union, especially now. Hadi, how can people get in touch with you, or if they are interested in learning more, where should they go?
Absolutely. So in terms of getting in touch with me, just on LinkedIn, Har Rai Khalsa. But then if you're interested in looking at Alkami's account opening products, we do have some landing pages on alkami.com for account opening. Feel free to take a look at some of the content there and then request a demo. Our sales team would be eager to speak with you and walk you through the platform.
That sounds great. Well, we will link to all of those in the post here. Thank you so much for taking some time, Hadi. It's great to learn more about digital account opening and about what Alkami can do for folks. So I hope you stay well. And thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in today to our 3 questions video interview series. And we will be back again next time.